Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be building an AI agency from scratch, literally from zero, to show you guys the entire process and how this is done. So let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to want to do is pick a niche and an offer. And the thing that people always get like mixed up about niche picking is that you don't want to do a few things. One, you don't want to pick a niche that's too broad, like say AI is for everyone. You want to hyper focus on the particular niche that you want to target. Because if you do this, then that will allow you to actually create good offers and copy that's actually going to get you clients from this niche, right? So we're actually going to think a little bit about our niche, and I'm going to show you guys how exactly I'd go about that. The other thing is you don't want to just go on YouTube and copy what other people are doing, because they've done research into a particular niche and know exactly what their problems are, what their things they're dealing with. So if you just go and copy that, then you won't have that same amount of knowledge. The next thing you don't want to do is spend weeks just trying to figure out the perfect offer, right? Like you actually want to pick a niche, pick an ICP, which is ideal customer profile, and then attack, right? So don't waste too much time trying to figure out this. Let's just go ahead. Next thing that I said I didn't update this, but the next thing that we want to make sure is that we have the correct mindset, right? So for your mindset when picking the niche, you don't need the perfect niche from day one. It's okay if the first niche you pick is not responsive or you didn't get the copyright for that. We can always pivot and figure out what is going to work better, right? So focus on solving one painful problem, like actually do some research about your clients so that you actually know how to speak their language, and always make progress, right? Progress beats perfection. That's the thing I want to say about the mindset when we go into this. The next thing I want to talk about is the solution, right? So how am I going to approach this, right? Number one, 3-point filter, right? We're looking for niches that pay well, have good, fast ROI, and they're easy to reach, right? So we can reach them online. They have money. And I'm going to show you guys how to do all of this. Then again, I said don't copy other agencies, but that doesn't mean you can't borrow what they're doing, right? So feel free to borrow what other people are doing. Just don't copy. And then the next thing, what we're going to be doing is we're going to run some validation, right? So what you can do, I don't always do this, but it's also something you can do, is you can do some validation, like cold DM some people, look at LinkedIn posts, like actually see what people in the particular ICP are doing, just so that you can get a feel of what it looks like. So let's go ahead. What we're going to do is, if we're going to look for a niche, I like to go to Gumroad. Oh, sorry, not Gumroad, sorry, Gummy Search. I like to go to Gummy Search, and then I'm going to log in. I'm going to log into Gummy Search. And then now I'm just going to think about what I want to do. So that if we go back to the things we mentioned, let me zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to drag this, right? We said we're looking for a niche that pays well, has fast ROI, and is easy to reach. So let's think about that a little bit. So, you know what? I also don't want us to waste too much time. So I love using ChatGPT. So I'll say, hey, give me 10 niches that pay well, are fast to reach, have good ROI, and I can find online. So we're going to throw this in ChatGPT and then see what it says. So lawyers, realtors, dentists, financial advisors, startups. So cybersecurity, health and wellness coaching, real estate, e-commerce, personal branding, remote hiring, recruiting. Let's do recruiters. Let's do recruiting niche, right? So we're going to come over here, create a new audience, and then say recruiting. Then we're going to find communities like that. Gummy search is good because then it can actually find those for us. And then, so okay, we can pick this one. Let me see, hiring, recruiting. And let me see if there's anything else we want from here. Criminal agencies. Okay, let's take those three. So we're going to create, looks like I'm over my audiences. So let me do this. Let me actually go delete one of mine. Yep. So we can create this now. Okay. So we're going to do that again. Recruiting. Recruiters. Let me see. Ask recruiters, recruitment agencies, recruitment. Okay. I think this should work now. Nice. So you can see we have these 5 subreddits that we're reading data from. These are the themes. So we're going to go through those. And then these are the topics. So first thing we're going to do is look at the hot discussions. So I'm going to open that. Okay, some good content, advice requests, solution requests, pain requests, and opportunities. So we don't waste too much time on this one. So we're just gonna do a quick look to see what people are looking for. It looks like I didn't have to open all of that. So we're gonna see recruiters are discussing challenges in finding jobs, seeking advice on candidate sourcing, and dealing with frustrations related to CRM and ATS systems. So you can already see that simplifying CRM systems might be something that recruiters would really be interested in. And good ones are like ClickUp, Monday.com, for example. Let's continue looking. There are also conversations about the ethics of inflating experience on resumes, handling all paperwork, and navigating relations with external recruiters. So again, these are things we can automate, like figuring out how to digitize the work they're doing, how to help with those relationships. We can think about automations for that. And then there's debates on whether VP candidates should be allowed to interview in casual code. Interesting. Okay, so let's look at top content. Top posts include a candidate secretly working multiple jobs to a candidate getting stuck in the chair during an interview. So again, maybe we could find an automation that, what would be a crazy automation that you would build for them is something that takes a candidate and then figures out if they have other jobs, maybe by scraping LinkedIn or testing their name with other companies in the industry. That would be a crazy automation. So there are also instances of inappropriate behavior such as rude applicant and discriminatory job postings. Okay. So let's see what people are looking for advice-wise. So they're seeking advice on such as the best time to make calls, dealing with recruitment agencies. So this just gives us a list of things that we could build for them, right? So if I just go over here, let me create a new page. Oh, I think I'm still... let's put it here. And then the text. Okay. So we're going to start from this. Potential offers for recruits and agencies. And then the next thing we want to do is maybe we saw information to find candidates with multiple jobs. That's kind of a beast one, but I'm just writing that down. CRM, integration, automations. There's always lead generation. That's always a good one. And then let me see what else we could look for. Resume screening assistance. So maybe we have like a resume screening agent. And then let me see. Solution requests. Let me see what they have here. This is a good one. Okay, they're also looking for platforms that can summarize profiles and provide salary information to streamline the recruitment process. Additionally, there's specific interest in recruitment agencies in various locations such as Abu Dhabi, GCC, Hyderabad, and Dubai. Okay, look at opportunities. Recruiters on Reddit are discussing various topics such as automated video screen interviews, improving recruitment processes, and challenges of hiring culture. Opportunities range from tech recruitment advice to urgent job postings for specific roles, like full stack web developers and information security specialists. Recruiters are also seeking candidates for high volume. So lead generation is always good. But we can, from the things we discussed, these are 4 solid offers that once we start reaching out to these recruitment agencies is something we could offer to them. Then let me spell this. Automations. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now that we've picked a niche stage 1, right? We pick a niche, we pick an offer. That's good. So we pick recruitment agencies, and these are the 4 things that we're going to offer to them. And we just did that quickly using ChatGPT and Gumroad. So the next thing we're going to do is set up our website. So to set up a website, I like to use something called Lovable, Bolt, or REPL. I'm trying to think. I usually feel like Bolt is quick. So I like to just go over to bold. And then, here we can just say create a website for my automation agency. My focus will be on recruitment agencies. So you don't have to actually write your focus will be on recruitment agencies, but we can just do this for something more targeted, right? Just what we might want to build, right? So in fact, we can even put the offers. Okay, cool. For let's put AI automation agency. And while that's building, let's just kind of talk about what we're doing here. So we're setting up the website, and some common mistakes you might make, right? Number one, you don't want to overbuild your website, create like a whole web app, right? We're just trying to build something that's more of like a calling card, more of like a client sees your website, so the things you're doing, and just wants to check it out, right? So you don't have to kind of stress too much about this particular part of it. The next thing I was going to say is don't spend too much time on design, right? Like here, I'm just having AI build out the design, like AI knows what to do, right? This website builders are really good, right? So we don't want to waste too much time on that. The thing that you would want to spend a little bit more time on is what's the actual content, right? So once AI has finished generating our website, we can go over our website and then just see what it's actually saying if there's any edits we would like to make. And then the other thing we'd also want to make sure is that if somebody goes to our website, there's a clear CTA. So they know if they can book a call, they can reach us or request a demo. That way, if anybody is actually on our website, they have a place to go next. So we only need like one page, which is what I'm going to generate with AI now. Looks professional. It's more of a sales tool, as I just mentioned. And again, don't always go for perfection. Let's just have something done. So that's the mindset I want you guys to have. Some solutions, if you want to build something more no code, like a little bit more hands-on, you can use Card Framer or one pages like Webflow. I like to use AI like Lovable Bolt or Replit as well, because that's easy. And one thing you could do is just add a case study. Now, it doesn't have to be something crazy. It could even be something from the job you're in now, and then just talk about like how you made impact to your organization or your industry, right? So don't overthink this part. Just, always nice to have like one case study there. All right, so now we're building out our website, and then let's see what we're going to get. Okay, so here we have this Recruit AI Pro. Transform your recruitment agency with AI automation. And then here we list out some of the things that we can do for them. Boom, boom, boom. Looks very professional. We can change all of this. So cool. Now we have a website. You just click here to publish it. So this is using bold or new. And then anybody can come to this website and just see what that looks like, right? So now that's published. Our website is good to go. So the next stage that we're going to go to is buying mailboxes, right? So in order to buy mailboxes, the first thing you need to do is buy a domain and then buy a mailbox for that domain. Now, the reason why we're going to be buying mailboxes is because cold email is what I think is the best way of reaching clients today. And we're going to actually be using that to reach our clients, right? With the offers that we've made, these recruitment agencies. So now that we have our website, what we'll then do is go over to a website like Namecheap. And then we want to buy a domain, right? So let me see the name it gave us here. Recruit AI Pro. Let's say that's the name of our agency. So we'd say Recruit AI Pro. If that's available. Cool, right? We have Recruit AI Pro Careers, but it looks like .com is not. So let me say pros, something like this. That Recruit AI Pros. Let me see, Recruit AI Pros.com. Yeah, that's even available, right? Let me just put .com. Yeah, right. So we'll just come over here. We want to buy this, you check out. And then, Namecheap usually comes with a code, right? You confirm the order, you buy it. So once we've bought our domain, the next thing we want to do is go over to a tool like Zapmail. Then I'm already logged into my Zapmail. But the thing with Zapmail is once you buy your domains, you'd come over to Zapmail and then you'd click add domains once you sign up. By the way, Zapmail costs $39 per month. So that's not bad when you want to get and you get 10 mailboxes with that. So once we have our domains, we just come over here, click connect domains. We type in the domain here. So in this case, it will be recruitaipros.com. We hit connect domain. And then basically, once you do that, Namecheap is going to ask you to update your name service, right? So I think, let me see if this is going to show. Yeah, so it's going to show here the Zapmail name servers we need. So we come here, copy this, head over to Namecheap. You go to your account. I'm just going to sign into mine. Boom. Then I'm going to let me pick this one. All right. So once you've signed up, what would you do is you come over here and then you change this from Namecheap basic DNS to custom DNS, and then you would replace these with your own DNSs, right? So you go to Zapmail, copy this, go back to Namecheap, replace these, right? You'd add a name server, and then you replace these, right? So you copy all of those and replace whatever is here with the 4 from Zapmail, and that's all you would need to do. Let me clear this. So once you've done that and you've uploaded those into Zapmail, you then go over to mailboxes and you'd have to assign. So, right, so here I'm showing you how you assign. Basically, once you go to mailboxes and you need to assign, you just type in the name of like whoever you want the mailbox to belong to. So usually I'll just type my own name, like Tony O. You can just have a username like Tony O, whatever you want that to be. And then you would just select a domain, right? So you could select, these are the ones I have here, but whatever you're doing, you could just select the domains of the ones that you would add. So in this case, it'll be recruitaipros.com that would show here, and then I'll just select add. Now, once you've assigned your mailboxes to an individual, you would then have one more thing you need to do, which is exporting them, right? So in order to export them, you would come over to, let me see where they have them right now. So this is my export history. You can see I exported to instantly. So let me see. So usually if you want to export, there'll be a tab here where you just click export. Because I already exported mine, there's no tab there. But basically you would usually have export here, and that would just allow you to connect your domains to instantly, basically. And so let's talk about what instantly is. But before I get to that, let me just make sure we're on the same page, right? So we've bought our mailboxes, as I just showed with Zapmail. Some common mistakes, right, is buying only one mailboxes. You probably want to buy about 3 per domain. So instead of just buying one domain, buy about 3. So you could buy Recruit AI Pros, get recruitaipros.com, and maybe hi recruitaipros.com. So you get 3 domains. And also make sure that you don't use, I made a mistake earlier, make sure you don't actually use your main domain. So in this case, we'd have bought recruitaipros.com, but we wouldn't actually want to use recruitaipros.com as our cold email domain. Would actually want to get another one separate, like hey recruitaipros.com or hi recruitaipros.com or get recruitaipros.com, because if we add our main domain to Zapmail and we send cold emails from that and those land in spam, then that would make our website like not be able to be found online. So make sure you get one that's similar but not the same. And then we can set up domain forwarding. Domain forwarding is basically when anybody that visits our website goes to your website. So for example, in mine, I have getchurnalab.com, and this is forwarded. I think I made a typo. Getchurnalab.com. This is going to be forwarded to my main website, churnallab.com, right? So you guys would also want to set up something like that as well. And then in order to set up domain forwarding, it's pretty simple. Again, you come back to Zapmail, you hit domains, you click on one of the domains you have, and then you go to the domain settings, and then you can do domain forwarding from here. So that's how you buy the mailboxes. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get instantly and how to warm that up. Some things to just keep in mind is you don't go overboard with the mailboxes, just buy a few now to test and start. And then we're going to warm that up. I'll show you how to do this, but we're just building pipelines, right? So just think about it in like more of a long-term manner. And then, yeah, so let me show you how to actually set up your cold email infrastructure and then set up the campaign. So now, to recap, we have our niche and offer. We have a website. We have domains and mailboxes for our cold email campaigns. Now we actually need to set these up. So the way that we're going to do that is we go over to a tool called Instantly and then sign up for that. And then in Instantly, we would then add all of our domains, right? So you can connect them using any provider or these ways, or you can export them from Zapmail, for example, into like Instantly, as I had mentioned before. And then once these are inside here, you would then click this fire button, which allows you to warm up, right? So here, you click this like this to start a warm up. And you want to make sure that you warm these up for at least 21 days. Warm up basically just means that it's going to simulate sending and receiving of emails on this account. And that'll mean that whenever you start your cold email campaigns, it's not actually going to be landing in spam. It's actually going to work, right? So you just need to make sure that you do this before you start sending out your emails. So now once we start warming up those emails, all we have to do is wait for about 21 days for those to warm up. So that's all you're going to do on that side. And then if we come back here, let's kind of talk more about cold email. So the thing about cold email is that it's really what you write inside that makes the big difference, right? So writing 4-paragraph essays nobody reads is not going to change anything. Copying and pasting templates is not going to change anything. Make sure that you're tracking the reply rates, right? See the cold email as a conversation starter and not necessarily like where the final sale is going to happen, right? So we're going to make sure we're going to have personalized lines. I'm going to show you guys in automation how to build something that's actually going to make a big difference. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys like how to actually personalize your emails using an automation, and we're going to use like a 3-step sequence, right? So let's go to NA10 right now. So in NA10, I'm going to show you one of the flows I'm currently using. And so basically, the way this works is that we have a Google Sheet, right? And in this Google Sheet, we're going to be reading from a list of leads. And I'm going to show you how to get those leads now. But let's just start like showing you how we're going to do it. So let's say we have a list of leads like this. Then what we're going to do here, what I'm actually doing is getting more information about the leads using Amplify and then updating the sheet. But let's talk about like the copy, right? So let's go to the first email generation. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a flow like this. Basically, very simple, is we're going to get rows from a Google Sheet, right? And in that Google Sheet, these are what your column headers are going to be. Email status, first name, last name, title, company name, LinkedIn URL, headline, industry, city, country, keywords, annual, company links, company website, company tag, company description, first email, second email, third email, right? So we're going to have all of those in, and then this is just what it'll look like. Next thing is going to have 3 nodes to generate the 3 emails. The first one would have an offer like this. Hey, generate the following statement with no additional text. Hey, name, this company offers their service to X. Quick question is finding a new type of client still taking forever and connected to these, right? So here we're going to be using this copy template to take in the information from the lead and generate these personalized emails. And then we're going to generate follow-up emails as well for each one. So here is what this would actually look like as well. And then we do the same thing for the third email. And then once we're done, we're just going to update our sheet with those emails that we just generated. So in order to actually get the data of these leads, this is what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to get apollo.io, and we're also going to need to go to Amplify. So if we go to apollo.io and sign in, let me quickly log in. What we want to do, as remember we talked about in the beginning, we're looking at recruiting agencies. So we hit people when we come into here. Let's clear all. You can also sign up for free trials of Apollo, which is pretty good as well. So what we're going to do is, hey, we're going to say, we're looking for companies. Let's look at keywords, industry and keywords. So we're going to look for recruitment. Staffing and recruiting is good. So that's a lot. So why don't we filter? Let's do this. We're going to filter by revenue. So we only want, so we only want private companies and is making minimum of 1 million. And then let's say we only want them to be in the, let's say employee side, 110, 1120, like this. So smaller companies. And then the next thing, let's say we're looking for only CEOs and owners, right? Founder. The CMO. CTO. So here we're just trying to look for the decision makers. Set partner. I usually like to get about 10K as well. Let's say VP. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have a bunch of decision makers. Then lastly, I like to, let's just filter for Americans. Cool. So this is a good list. All you have to do is copy that URL from Apollo, head over to Apify, so make sure you sign up for Apify. This is the link, console.apify.com. Look for Apollo Scraper. So we're going to come over here and look for Apollo Scraper. Go over here, and all we have to do is paste in right here and hit start. Once we do that, so I'm just going to do this for like, I think there's a minimum usually. Let me see if I can just do 10. There's usually a minimum, but let's see. Yeah, usually you have to do at least 500. But I'm just going to show you one of the other runs I've done, so I don't have to redo all of that. So what you're going to have to do is come over here. And once it's done, you just have to go to runs, click for the one you just finished running, and you'll see all of the information here, right? So we're going to export this, hit download, and then we're going to have this here. Then what we're going to do is go over to our sheet. In this case, I'm just going to show an example. We're now going to import, click import here, hit upload, hit browse, get the data set, hit open, wait for that to load. You can say replace current sheet, import the data, and all of that data is going to be in here. And now that we have the data in here, we can go over to our node, make sure we select the sheet that we're looking for. And so in this case, if we were looking for a different, we'd select sheet 7. And then we can run this automation that will use AI to automatically personalize all of those emails, right? So once we have that, we're good to go. The last thing that you'd want to do before you actually go ahead and start sending out those emails is verify the leads. Now, the way I like to verify them for a very low cost is by using a tool called Loomrid. So I'm just going to head over to Loomrid. Loomrid, what you're just going to do is sign up, hit this, upload the file, click the file you want to clean, and then select the email column, and then hit validate. So what this is basically going to do is ensure that none of the emails that we're going to be sending to are actually invalid. And this will make sure that our mailboxes and our domains remain protected once we start our cold email campaign. So we're going to personalize them, validate them, and then we're going to export that list back to Google Sheets, and then it's going to be good to go. So here we're just going to be validating the emails for now. So once you have your lead list and it's ready to go, the next thing we want to do is just launch the campaign. As I mentioned, you're probably going to have to wait about 21 days unless you buy what we call pre-warmed mailboxes. And pre-warmed mailboxes are mailboxes that are a little bit cheap, more expensive, but they've been pre-warmed, so you can literally start your campaign immediately with these inboxes. So I'll have this for you guys to go over just to kind of understand what we're going to do. But something I just want to talk about here is treat cold email campaigns as a lab, as a test box, right? Batch them. So don't send all of your leads at once. Let's say you have 500, so send 100 at once with a particular copy and then see how it goes. And then after that, send another one. And then just keep doing that in order to see how it's going to go. So here now, let me see if I reload this. Look at the recent list, right? You can see that, I think it's an older one, but yeah. So basically once that's done, you come to recent list, hit download as a CSV. You can just download the valid ones as well. I think that'll make the most sense. And then go ahead and re-upload those to Google Sheets. So now, once we have all of that data in our Google Sheets, next thing we want to do is return to instantly. Once our emails have warmed up, or even before, it's fine. You can start working on this already. You add a new campaign. I can call this one test campaign. What you want to do is hit add leads, and then you would upload CSV, hit the CSV, and then for whatever CSV that you validated that has the emails that we created with AI, you would just upload these directly to instantly. So for example, I can come over here, upload these to instantly, and then you can literally select which fields you want to come in. Right? So I'm going to come back out because I don't want to do this right now. But I'm going to show one of my campaigns. So now, once you've uploaded your leads to instantly, the next thing you want to do is come over to sequences. Now, in sequences is where you're actually going to generate the copy, right? So here, depending on how you do it, you're going to have the variable that we just imported. And this variable would be like first email or personalization or however we've done it, right? And so we're going to just write our copy here. And you guys can get many examples by watching courses on YouTube on how to create good copy. But we're going to write good copy here. And then we're just going to hit preview. And then we're going to see what it actually comes up with. So you can see here we have like, hey Moshe, designing a SaaS platform to help businesses engage with communities. And a jump sounds like a variable tool figure that reach out. I run a tech company in the US for consumer connection. Like many founders, we struggle with these until I started doing. So, you know, you can like have whatever copy you guys want. But definitely make sure that like it's very good and you use like the principles like of good copywriting. Then once you've set up your copy, and one thing I also want to say is make sure that you have like at least 3 follow-ups. 3 is a really good number. And then you don't have to send this like every one day. It could be like send it 2 days afterwards, send it 3 days afterwards. But what this basically means is it's going to send the first email, wait however number of days you specify here, send the follow-up email, wait another days, and then send the third follow-up email. So you want to make sure that you add these steps. So you can see here, I send this first one, then I say, hey, just checking in. Are you still handling all inbound leads manually? I can show you how to automate, you know, all these things. Then I send the third one. No worries, no priority. Just wanted to let you know the offer's still open, right? So that way you're just following up with them. Then you can also do A/B testing where you just create different variants. This just allows you to see which one works better than another one. And that kind of gives you that feedback loop as you continue to grow. So after that, you would then want to set up your schedule. US, depending on where you're targeting. Here I was targeting Nairobi, but you can, depend on where you want to target. It could be like 7 a.m., 7 p.m. And then you send those emails on weekdays, usually for business owners. You can even send on Saturdays sometimes, but it just depends on what your goals are. And then you want to set up your options. So here you pick the accounts that you want to send them to. And then the next thing you want to do is just go over all these options. Make sure your daily limit matches. So again, if you have 3 emails, maybe you're sending about 30 per day is what I would say is a good limit. And then you say your daily limit here. So that's how you'd set instantly up and get that ready for your campaign. And then once your campaign is ready to go, all you have to do is come over here, hit the resume, and your campaign will be ready to go, sending out these cold emails to everyone. So that would be basically all the steps needed to start your own AI automation agency using cold email as the outreach platform. And then the next step you guys would probably say is, okay, so once we start to get leads, once people start to comment and reply to our emails, what do we start to do? So that kind of a different discussion. Maybe I'll make a video on that. But at that point, we're talking about like your sales skills. So how you actually sell your business and what you do on the call. And then you get onto onboarding the client and also fulfilling the project. So here, I just wanted to show you like from 0 to 100, how do you get set up? Like from not knowing a niche to setting up your website, your domains, your mailboxes, and your cold email infrastructure. And then after that, in the day 2 video, I can show you guys how exactly what happens when somebody actually replies to one of your cold emails and you actually need to start selling. We can discuss that. So I hope you guys find value in this video. Make sure that if you guys are interested in learning more about this entire process, you follow my channel or my socials, subscribe to my YouTube, and don't forget to join my AfroAutomators community. We're really growing and I'm really trying to build something special there. So I'll see you guys in the next video.